Army WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I don't know shit about fuck.
That's the story of my life. All right, everybody, what's going on? I think all the correct buttons are pushed. All the platforms are running in the green, so that's nice. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kaz, and this is Friday Night Freedom. And this is WTF Nation Radio. We are the voice of U.S Army WTF Moments, and we're having a fantastic day, and it's really great to be back here on a Friday. This is going to be a very, very busy show, and I hope you guys can hang out. Got a little bit of a safety brief, just kind of like a be aware type. It's just a little news thing to begin with, and then we're going to be talking to Joshua Rohrer, and his story has been making the rounds in the news. It's not getting a whole lot of traction, and we hope to change that. But Joshua, and I'll get to his story in just a little bit, but it's heartbreaking and it's infuriating. It's frustrating, and I don't know what to do. So I'm going to share it with y'all, and I'm going to get Joshua on the line as soon as I'm going to give everybody like the Cliff's notes of what his situation is and what it was, and then we're going to bring him into the show, and then he can do his explanation of it, rather than parsing information out of a news publication such as like Newsweek, Army Times. I read the Army Times article on it, and I also read the Newsweek article, and then some local news station had picked it up, and they all basically said the same thing. The Army Times article was super long, so I opted to take notes off of the Newsweek article, and Joshua asked me specifically to use the Army Times article because that had the most facts, which obviously it did, because it's a long article. It really is a long article, but it's awesome. I've got the hashtags and stuff in the show description. So I hope at some point you guys can visit that. Join the Support Joshua Rohrer and Sunshine Ray group on Facebook, just to stay abreast of all the information that's coming out about his case. And then I hashtag the Justice for Joshua and Sunshine, just to get the message out. So how is everybody? What's going on, Pookie?
Oh, same old. Just spooky season's about over. So yeah.
Sunday is Halloween, dude. You've gotten some great comments on your epic beard there.
Oh, I just cut it down. It was like down to here, and I just cut it up. So everyone says epic beard.
It looks nice. It looks nice and full and healthy.
Yes.
So here's my safety brief, which just got put in our ops just a little bit ago. Law enforcement agencies across Northern Virginia region are ramping up patrols ahead of Halloween weekend for a potential threat of violence in the Northern Virginia area. Fairfax County Police Department, Arlington County Police Department, Prince William County, Alexandria Police Department, Metropolitan Police Department, and the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office have said that they are increasing police presence around malls and shopping centers and other areas where people congregate ahead of the holiday weekend. Quote, we received information concerning potential public safety impacts to malls, shopping centers across the region, Davis said. I don't know who he is. I guess he's a spokesperson for one of those departments. You all know that we take any and all information very seriously, and we work to corroborate it, and we have increased our police presence throughout the county to include major thoroughfares, shopping plazas, shopping malls. Davis would not elaborate on the nature of the information received, but encouraged the public to remain vigilant. Davis has increased police presence in similar situations when patrols are increased, kind of around like they do around the holidays, Christmas and 4th of July and stuff like that. Now, other information was was sent to us saying that this is an ISIS threat. So if you are in the area, pay attention. If you see something crazier or out of place, call your local law enforcement folks. I don't think that they would be putting out something like this if there wasn't a credible threat. So this is supposed to, supposedly it is a very credible, specific threat. So what do you think about that? You used to live in that area, didn't you, Pook?
Oh yeah. It's a very, I'll just say it's a very diverse area. Where I was living in the Fairfax County area, I was probably of my kid home, probably the only person living in that neighborhood. So it's not bad up there. It's not bad. It's just, you gotta keep your eyes open. You got a couple military bases in that area, potential targets. Just if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
As long as it's not just like Joe Schmo barbecuing out at the park, just leave him alone. But you see something crazy, report it.
That's I guess good rules to live by. See something, say something. So let me get to a little bit of housekeeping. I got to get my stuff in order here. So it is nice to have Ice back. Did you check out his shows? He did a show Monday and and Thursday. We had Sergeant's Time last night.
I only caught Thursday's show, and I saw the new graphics for it, and I was like, y'all need to just USAREC just needs to hire whoever's doing that, and that's their recruiting videos.
Oh my gosh, his intro video was just awesome.
I was like, holy shit.
We do stuff here at WTF Nation Radio, and we have people that can do stuff.
Combat boner. I was like, yes, this is awesome. I love it.
So I wrote down some notes. I said, so nice to have Ice back on the air. Glad he's getting settled. Now you can get your Monday fix with the Monday edition and everyone's favorite Sergeant's Time on Thursdays. Now our only Donza Day is on Wednesday. So we got Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays covered. All the shows start at 2000 Eastern. So hope you all can be here. And if you miss a show, don't worry. Just go to WTFNationRadio.com, and there's a link there. And you can download any or all of our podcasts. Every show that we have is turned into a podcast, and it's available for free. It's like the perfect price. So we got guests coming up this Tuesday. Sammy Rowe is the VP of Animation Legends. Sammy Rowe will join CQ and Radar and Pop Culture Warrior on Tuesday to talk about what they do as a company. So I looked up what do they do as a company. So basically, they sell original animation sketches that were used by animation production companies to create each frame of the cartoon, and they have lots of shows to choose from. And you can go there and you can buy like a mystery bag of a certain animated show, and they will send you an envelope full of those things. I don't know what all these cool things are called because it's just production stuff from things. And
got a few animation bills filling on my wall or behind me.
That's cool.
From Samurai Jack. Yeah, I just got my hands on them somehow. So that's the kind of stuff you get in those little things.
That's pretty cool. And tomorrow, if you are in the Round Rock, Texas area, OP Veteran Vet Fest is going to be held at Lakeview Pavilion in Old Settlers Park in Round Rock from noon until 5. Vet Fest is a showcase of veteran-run businesses. It's going to be food and music and some camaraderie and stuff like that. So it highlights veteran businesses and nonprofits and so forth. Looks like they've got a pretty decent lineup as far as talent, and it's all the music is provided by veterans. So fun times. Round Rock is around Austin. It's just north of it's just north of. Is that right?
To be honest, I can't remember. To tell you the truth, I think north of Austin was
it's
that place where they get Schlitterbahn Water Park. I don't know.
Schlitterbahn, yeah, that's around New Braunfels. So it's between Fort Hood. It's on I-35. It's off of I-35 between Hood and Austin, and south of Georgetown. So if you hit Georgetown, you've gone too far. You can go to the OP Veteran Facebook page, and you could probably click on directions. They have actually a specific address, and you can find your way from there. So that's going to happen tomorrow, October 30th, 2021, between 1,200 and 1,700 hours. I know we got a lot of listeners down in the Fort Hood area, Fort Sam area. So yeah, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, it's going to be a nice day. It's not 1,000 degrees outside anymore.
Oh yeah, the winter has finally hit.
Well, let's just say it's not 1,000 degrees anymore. I still think we're in false fall. So I think
I call it winter because this is winter to me.
we've probably got a couple more days of warm weather, but it's we're almost in November, so it's going to start heading. The temperature is going to start heading south a little bit. Hopefully not as far south as it did last year, where we actually spent a couple of days in the teens.
Arctic blast.
That was horrible, man. I hated it. But I've got a new AC system now with a heat pump now, so I don't have to rely on a coil heater to heat my home. How you doing, Chuck? Good to see you. Kevin Shea says, "Let's go, Brandon."
Yeah.
Did we get our there it is. Stephen Pianchi. Penis, 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 deep breath. Penis, 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 penis. So Stephen Pianchi says, "Hello, everybody."
Every week.
I wonder what he's going to be dressing up as for Halloween. Who knows? He says that's a 11 Bravo for saying hello. So let me give you some Cliff's notes on Joshua's situation. Let me get the correct information in front of me. And this is just going to be just a quick outline, and then we're going to get Joshua on the air. Joshua Graham Rohrer is a homeless veteran in North Carolina. He says he was wrongfully arrested and mistreated by the Gastonia police officers in North Carolina. Gastonia, I looked on a map, it's just west of Charlotte. They tased his service dog, who then kind of ran away. Obviously, you get poked with those things, you're going to run away. But anyway, Joshua was arrested, separated from his service dog. A friend of his took custody of Sunshine. Sunshine slipped out of her collar, and unfortunately, she was hit and killed by a passing vehicle. Joshua he pleaded with police officers to keep his service dog, saying that there's a statute or a law in North Carolina that says someone who has a service animal, which he did, beautiful Belgian. See, I got some pictures here. So there's a picture of Joshua and his beautiful dog Sunshine. But anyway, he was arrested and separated from his service animal, and just things kind of went down from there. Folks you're not given service animals just because. Service animals cost tens of thousands of dollars to train, and they do a lot of good work for the veterans that need them. Whether it's it's sensing when you're having a panic attack or whatever, for whatever reason, they're extremely useful, and they become an instantaneous part of the family. And this story just breaks my heart, and I really hope some light shines on Joshua and his situation. There was a protest outside of the Gastonia Police Department tonight. A lot of information was on the Facebook page support page, which is Support Joshua Rohrer and Sunshine Ray. You can search for that on Facebook. A lot of pictures, people out there, all in support of Joshua. He's got a lot of support out here, and he's definitely got my support. And I really hope that when his court date comes, it's good things happen. And apart from that, this whole separate situation of the conduct of the police, and them separating him from his service animal. I'm not familiar with the North Carolina laws. I'm not familiar with any of the service animal laws as far as being separated from them or not, or if being put in jail. Does that mean you still get to keep your animal? I don't know. I have no idea. Chuck Eder says, "Hey man, I'm traveling to Utah tomorrow at 0400. Drive safely, man." I'm assuming that you're driving. So doesn't matter if you're driving or flying or whatever. Be safe. Have a great trip. Love Utah. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get Joshua on the air. And Pookie, if we get separated, just hit me on back after we have this conversation.
Hello?
Hey, Joshua, this is Kaz at WTF Nation Radio. How are you doing?
As well as I can be under the circumstances. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm really glad that you're able to talk with us tonight. I kind of gave a brief overview of the story, just kind of a bullet items, and I thought that rather than relying on a news story, we could just hear it from the horse's mouth. But I wanted to thank you for your service. You were in the National Guard and spent some time overseas, Kuwait, Iraq, 2004, 2005. What was your
Yes, sir.
What was your job, sir?
I was a CGS operator, 96 Hotel, military intelligence, track moving targets.
Oh, you were a busy man.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you very much for your service.
Thank you so much for your support. It was an honor.
Oh man, I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get a hold of you, man. This is kind of all this happened 10 days, 2 weeks ago.
October the 13th.
So tell us what went down.
Well, I had started to receive harassment from the police. They were threatening me, and they had told me to leave town several times and to pack it up, and that I didn't belong here. And, they had started to harass me for weeks. And
so you're just to bring this into light, you're a homeless veteran.
yes, sir.
So they didn't like where you were or what you were doing. So they I guess this wasn't just a one-day event. This has been a pervasive thing.
Yes, sir. It definitely was.
Okay, continue.
And, I guess that they didn't like that I was homeless, didn't like seeing it. I'm not sure. But I lived in the area. I camped out in the woods, and I just walked around and with my service dog, Sunshine Ray, that was prescribed to me by the VA for my PTSD. And she had a little hat that she always wore, and everybody loved it. We'd walk around and smile and wave at people because, I'm a people watcher, and I would always see everybody in their cars, and some people would be happy, some people would be sad, some people would be arguing and crying. And I was like, well, it looks like these people need a smile on their face. And one way to do that is to smile at them. So I just started smiling and waving, and lo and behold, people just started smiling and waving back.
Brightening everybody's day.
Yeah, brightening everybody's day, bringing some joy to them, because, I see people crying in their cars and upset, and, you never know what it is. Everybody's going through their own situations. So I was like, I feel like it's my obligation to make people smile. And that's what I did. And Sunshine did the same thing. She'd sit there in her hat, and people would come up and see her, and they'd smile and give her treats and stuff. And, that was our daily ritual.
That's a great looking dog,
therapy.
Man. She's a beautiful dog.
Yeah, she really was. She was an amazing, beautiful service dog.
When you get a service animal, that just becomes a part of the family. That is like losing that service animal.
My lifeline.
It's your lifeline. Or it's like, if you lost your service animal, it's like losing your left arm. You just, you're missing a piece of it.
Exactly. The VA considers service animals to be like a prosthetic. Like you can't function without it.
So walk us down the series of events that happened on the 13th.
Okay, so that day, 2 days prior to this incident, one of the arresting officers for this had came by to harass me. He told me to pack up and leave town, and I couldn't be out here doing this. And I'm like, I can't smile and wave at people. I thought I fought for that freedom. That's my civil liberty. As a combat veteran, that I fought for everybody to walk around and smile and wave at people. And he was like, nope, you're begging for money. I got a call that you're begging for money. And I said, I'm not begging for money. I'm just smiling and waving. You can see for yourself. And so a lady approached us, and while he was talking to me, and reached out with $10 in her hand and a dog treat for Sunshine, my service dog. And he tried to arrest me on the spot. He tried to grab the money and tell the lady no, and like basically grab me and open his car door and be like, "Oh, you're going to jail, begging for money." And the lady was like, he didn't ask me for this. I'm just offering it to him and giving his dog some treats. And he tried to argue and stuff, and that was that. And she left, and then he told me, he's like, "If I see you again, I'm going to arrest you." And I said, "Well, okay, I'm going to be standing right here smiling and waving when you turn around, so I guess I'll see you in a minute. I don't know. Like, I'm homeless. I don't know what you want from me." And he turned around and was coming back around, and I looked at him because he told me he was a veteran as well, and I thanked him for his service. And he pulled up when he was sitting at the light. I was smiling and waving at him. I was like, "Have a good night, officer." And I told him, I said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." And I guess that caught him off guard or upset him. I'm not sure. And he threw his car in park, threw the door open and the lights on, and just stopped right in the middle of the road, impeding traffic. And came across the road and came up to me on the sidewalk and was asking me if I was really a veteran. And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he tried to ask, if I had a rating or anything like that. And I said, "Well, that's really none of your business." And he proceeded to tell me that he's got a certain rating and that, he can work, and he still works. And my legs look fine. I'm walking around fine. So, why don't I get a job or something like that? And I'm like, I'm just out here smiling and waving at people. It's my therapy, I'm a disabled veteran, and this is what I choose to do with my time. And so he left, and I thought that was the end of it, but he had told me the next time he see me, he was going to arrest me. So I went about my day as usual the next day. And then Wednesday, October the 13th, I was back out there as usual, smiling and waving at people. And people, come up, give Sunshine treats, they pet her and all that good stuff, give her a break, And I saw him drive by later in the evening, and he drove by and made eye contact with me as I was waving, and then he went and parked up the hill over the overpass, and I was like, "That's odd. Why is he coming back around to bother me again?" And a few minutes later, shortly thereafter, another police officer circled by and pulled up to me. I'd never seen her before. And she pulled up to me and was like, "I got 3 calls that you are begging for money." And I was like, and she's like, "You need to get out of here." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm here all the time. I'm just smiling and waving at people. I'm not begging for money. Who said that?" And she wouldn't tell me, and so she pulled off and went down behind Alta and pulled up to a car that was sitting there and was sitting beside this car for a minute. And I'm just smiling and waving, making my usual lap, walking. And so I was like, "Well, it's getting dark. It's time for me and Sunshine to go ahead and pack up and, go to our camp for the night." And when I was walking back up this car pulled up to the sidewalk and stopped and waved me over. And so I was walking up, and when they waved me over, I walked over, and they handed me a $10 bill. And I walked back over to Sunshine's bed to roll it up, because I always had a little bed for her to lay on, you know, and a hat to protect her from the sun, and ice water for her. You know, she was spoiled. And and all of a sudden, when I was rolling her bed up, I turned around, and that cop was flying up on me with their lights on and jumped out and was like, "Oh, that's it. I'm giving you a citation." And I was like, "For what?" She's like, "I just saw you throw your arms up in the air, both your arms up in the air, and wave like to stop that car, like that motion that you use to stop traffic, like you're straight up in the air with your arms. And I saw you beg them for money, and they gave it to you. You impeded traffic. You're getting a ticket." And I'm like, "That's not what happened at all. Like, I was just walking up and down the thing, and she stopped me and offered me money." And I think she also had a dog treat. I'm not sure, but I'm so used to getting the dog treats for Sunshine. Probably everybody gives them to me. So I'm like, okay. And she wanted to see my ID. And I was like, "I have no reason to show you my ID. That's my liberty. I haven't committed a crime. I'm not suspected of committing a crime. Like, I've literally done nothing wrong. I'm just walking and smiling and waving. If that lady wants to offer me money, that's her prerogative. You know, there's nothing illegal about that." So she called for backup when I didn't show her ID, and that officer that had threatened me 2 days prior literally pulled up in like 3 seconds. He was there immediately, blocked off the intersection, threw his door open, jumped out, and I was like, "Oh, good. He's a veteran." I was like, "Hey, talk to him." I was like, "Look, he'll tell you. He's seen it for himself. While I was talking to him, somebody came up and handed me money and dog treats, and I didn't ask for it. You know, I'm not begging. I don't have a sign or anything. You know, tell her." And he was like, "Oh no, I've warned him multiple times. I've told him he knows better. Blah 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 blah. You know." And I'm like, "Oh wow, okay, that went in the turn of events that I was expecting. I thought this brother would have my back, being a fellow veteran, you know." Mm-hmm. And so he asked me for my ID, and I was like, I you know what? I'll tell you what. I was like, "That's fine. I'll give you my ID. You can give me this." I was like, "I don't see why you would give a homeless veteran a citation for this. I don't see how that's going to help me. You know, I'm out here homeless, living in the woods. But okay, here's my ID." So I pulled out my wallet, and I'm pulling out my VA ID, which is a valid form of ID. And because I don't have a valid state ID, as most homeless people don't. And he was telling me, "I need your state ID. I need your state ID." And I'm like, I don't have a valid one. And as I was literally reaching out with my VA card in my hand, he grabbed my wrist. He's like, "All right, you're going to jail." And slammed me down on the car, face first. And all chaos, all hell broke loose.
So your dog was obviously concerned for your safety, so she probably started barking.
She was laying at my feet. No, my dog did not start barking. She never barked.
Oh, really?
She was a highly trained service dog. And that did not happen at all. She was laying at my feet, and they slammed me down on the car, And I start screaming for somebody to help me. I'm like, why are y'all doing this? Somebody help me. Help. Somebody help. Record. Somebody help. You know, because I had literally done nothing wrong. I was cooperating. I was in compliance. I literally did what they asked. I gave them my ID, my VA ID, showing that I'm a disabled veteran. And so my service dog went into action. She jumped on the hood of the police car where my face was and came up to my face to check on me to make sure I was okay. And they started yelling at me to control my dog. And I'm like, I have control over her. She's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. And they said, get her off the hood. And so that's what I did. I said, sunshine, off, break. And that means to leave whatever area she's in and get on the ground when she's on a surface. And she jumped off the hood exactly as I told her. And they kept telling me to get my dog, but I'm face first in the hood of a car. They just smashed my face in it, which you can see the marks on my face from it in the mugshot, my arrest mugshot. And they did not give me the chance to do anything with her. And Sunshine was walking away from the police officer, and he pulled out a taser, and I just heard, don't shoot the dog, don't shoot the dog. And so I look over and I see that he has his hands out like he's shooting a gun. And in my mind, I thought he was about to shoot my dog with a gun. So I fell backwards and into the path of what I thought was to be the bullet intended for my service dog. And I heard the pop or whatever, and I looked over as it went by, and I realized that it was the taser because I saw the wires go by me, and I saw her running away from the wires around the police car. And I just lost my mind. I started screaming, my dog, somebody get my dog. And somebody help me, please. Why are y'all doing this to me? And they slammed me down on the ground while I was handcuffed and just like completely brutalized me. And my dog ran off. And obviously, I mean, she just got shot with a taser from behind for no reason.
She's going to be frightened, terrified.
Yeah, those tasers are meant for grown couple 100-pound men, and she's 49 pounds. And so I'm laying in the middle of the road. They had called for backup, you know, for little old me and Sunshine, smiling and waving. And the whole police department is pulled up, blocking the whole intersection and everything. People are yelling at the cops to stop, and they're throwing water bottles at them and stuff, screaming. People are like recording, and I don't know where Sunshine is, and she's my lifeline. And, you know, I can't function without her. And so obviously this traumatic incident, I need her more than ever. And I just realized she just got shot with a taser. So I'm literally laying in the middle of the road screaming, please help me. Somebody please help. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? I haven't done anything wrong. I've literally done nothing wrong. Why are you doing this? Like, please get my dog. So they picked me up. All the officers just standing around looking at me, smirking, laughing, like not paying me any attention. And they throw me in the back of the cop car, and I'm screaming, please get my service dog. Please get my dog. You cannot separate me from my service dog. Like, she is prescribed to me. You cannot separate her. Where is she? And they're like, she ran into TJ Maxx. So I'm sitting in the back of the car, and the sergeant shows up, and I'm like, please let me talk to the sergeant. They wouldn't let me talk to the sergeant. And the sergeant came over and was talking to animal control, and they would not even pay me any mind. My cries fell on deaf ears. they could care less. And so they literally, I asked them, I said, where is my service dog? And the cops, after I finally got them to answer, asking several times, they were like, oh, we gave it to a concerned citizen. And I said, excuse me? And they're like, yeah, somebody took it. And I'm like, you just handed off my prescribed service dog to a random stranger? Like, animal control's here. Why isn't animal control holding them until somebody comes to pick her up? Because I told them I have somebody coming to pick her up. And they didn't listen. And they just handed her to a random stranger. How is that even possible? That's like if your kid was with you, they just hand your kid to a random stranger and say, here you go. Exactly. And so, and they took me to the jail. And when I got to the jail, the officers, the arresting officers were there. And they booked me in, and the officers decided that they would just stick around and torment me. They sat there and made fun of me. Telling me that save the crocodile tears. Oh, save the crocodile tears. You're fine. You walk up and down all the time. You're not disabled. Your legs work fine. And I've got a rating, and I still work. And my cousin's uncle's brother's is disabled, and he works. And you should have just listened to us and complied. And then they were telling the magistrate, they made sure to stereotype me and talk down on me in front of the magistrate, saying that I'm this terrible person and that I'm homeless. So I'm a flight risk. So they should give me a high bond so that, I make sure that I show up to court. $3,000 secure cash bonds. And they would not allow a bondsman to get me out. And they did not want me to get out of jail. They did everything in their power to keep me in there and ridicule me and stick around just to smirk at me. And they were in their room typing up the police report for an hour and a half, and the police report is like one sentence long. They just wanted to sit in there and basically intimidate me, I guess. And that went on for a while. And when I went to sit in front of the magistrate, I told the magistrate, I said, Magistrate, I am a service-connected, disabled combat veteran. I am prescribed my service dog through the VA hospital. She is out there running around somewhere. She got tased, and they gave her away to some random citizen. I need to get to my service dog. It is imperative that I get to my service dog. I cannot function without my service dog. And he looked at me and he's like, that's not my problem, basically. And your court date set for December 30th, and it's October 13th. And, good luck to you. And after I saw the magistrate, the cop still sat there and talking to him and tormenting me. And I'm sitting there crying, trying to figure out what I'm going to do and where my service dog is. And, of course, she's trained to find me and not be separated from me. So I know that she's out there panicking, frantic, running around, freaked out, trying to figure out where I'm at. And then Not her. She was not intimidating at all. Not her. There's nothing intimidating looking about my service dog. Very sweet. If you look at any of her pictures. Yes, I do. I do. But she was the sweetest baby, and everybody loved her in her little hat. And people always petted her. Like, I always let her have breaks from working so that people could pet her. And so I got out, managed to make bond, and I immediately started searching for my service dog. And I searched high and I searched low, and I was camping out in the woods. I didn't even sleep. I was just out walking around, dropping scent trails, dropping food, singing her name. We had a whole search party for her. I was involved with Epic Animal Recovery. They were giving me tips to, how to retrieve a lost animal. They'd been doing it professionally for like 10 years, and I was following everything they said. We had several sightings. We were hot on her trail, and I said, I'm not going to eat until my service dog eats. I'm not going to sleep until she sleeps. I'm not going to do anything until I find her. My mission is to find my service dog. I will not rest until she's found. And that's what I did, nonstop. And on Saturday, that was Thursday when I got out. Saturday morning, at 9 o'clock in the morning, I had my body shut down about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I fell asleep. And I woke up at like 9 o'clock, and I was like, oh no, it's past 7. I gotta go find her. So I got up and started getting dressed. I had on just my underwear and a shirt, and I picked up my phone to see what time it was and to look and see if anybody had called her, there was any news of her. And I had a text saying that she had been found dead laying in the middle of the road.
God damn.
And I was like, I had to read it several times to make sure I was reading it right. And I immediately was like, no, this can't be. And my friend pulled into the driveway where I was by this ravine looking for her. And when he pulled in, I ran up to his window saying, tell me it's not her. Tell me it's not her. And I could tell by the look on his face, he put his head down and looked over. And as soon as he did that, I knew that it was her. And I absolutely lost my mind. I screamed. I just said, no. And I just started yelling, no. And I took off running down the road, full speed, and screaming, no. No, it's not her, no. And I got to a main road, and I ran into traffic to try and kill myself. I ran right in the middle of traffic. I had lost all my will to live at that point because she was my lifeline, and I did not know how I was going to make it without her. And I was unsuccessful, obviously.
Thank God.
But I ran for a mile down the road barefoot, and people were trying to slow traffic and stop traffic as I was running through it, trying to get hit, jump out in front of cars and stuff. And the local police in Shelby, North Carolina, have been notified already because they were the ones that found Sunshine, so they knew that it was a possibility that I was not going to handle the news well.
How far did she go?
They were already on alert.
How far did she go from where you were, where that incident happened?
It wasn't very far. It was a couple miles.
Couple
She was
miles,
staying within a couple mile radius of where we were. And so the police, circled in and surrounded me. And of course, because of my previous dealings just a few days before, I was having a PTSD attack thinking that they were there to also harm me and brutalize me like I had previously been done. And, they had to subdue me and assure me that that was not the case. And they managed to get me in the car and they took me to the hospital, for an involuntary commitment. And the officer that did it was a veteran himself that took me to the hospital, and he stayed in there to comfort me. And my legs were all messed up and cramping because I was dehydrated. I hadn't drank or eaten for days looking for her. So I had extreme cramps and I was screaming out in pain. My feet were mutilated. I can't even walk now. I'm in a wheelchair. I've been in a wheelchair since this happened because I can't stand up or walk. And he massaged the cramps out of my legs and told me that he was there for me and that he had my back and it was going to be okay. And, I ended up getting out of the hospital, but I still can't walk. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't stand up. People are having to care for me and stuff. And, I'm not doing well. It's traumatized me. I don't know how I'm ever going to recover from this. And I don't have my Sunshine, my service dog.
So the wheels of justice have to turn. So you're going to have a court date soon. I heard that's toward the end of December.
December 30th.
So what the crime, you criminal, that you're accused of is what? Solicitation. I guess solicitation, it falls under the big umbrella of panhandling, which you weren't doing, but that's what they said.
No. Yes.
So that's going to happen. But this is two different things. This is panhandling versus misconduct by the police officers. And I don't want to talk on possible. This is a thing that is going to be in the courts. So I don't want to suppose certain things, and the facts seem pretty obvious to me and everybody in the audience here that this is just a situation that should have gone a whole lot differently.
Amen to that. A whole lot differently. De-escalated. A whole lot differently. And
so it's good that you've got legal representation. Wow, prayers, brother, man. I hope everything goes well. I mean, but this is two different situations. I mean, I hope your situation is resolved in your favor. But then internal investigation. I mean, in the news reports, in a statement obtained by Newsweek. This is from the Newsweek article, and this is the same thing as what the Army Times said, that they're going to continue to review all of the facts and circumstances surrounding Mr. Rohrer's arrest. The department added that it was determining if the actions of all officers involved in Mr. Rohrer's arrest followed Gastonia Police Department's policies and procedures. That's a canned answer. That's a canned answer.
That's the police, and that's the police investigating the police. They're investigating themselves. They have made no public statement about this whatsoever.
There was a presence outside the Gastonia Police Department tonight, and I did see on the Facebook pages some pictures of folks that were out there supporting you and Sunshine, and that was good to see.
Yes, there's been a huge outpouring of support and love for Sunshine Ray, my service dog, and myself. And I am blessed to see it, because no one should be treated like that. No one should ever be treated like that.
We're definitely going to be following this story. How are you doing right now? I mean, on a personal level. I mean, the wheelchair aside. I mean, are you getting some counseling? Are you talking to folks, taking care of yourself?
Well, I've been trying to get PTSD care from the VA for many years, and they've refused me treatment for years, getting into PTSD programs and things like that. I had finally managed to get some treatment from the VA, and then that stopped. They were doing video calls and things like that, but then they just ceased to call me. I'd had some homeless care just like a week or two prior to this. The SFBF had put me in a hotel. They said indefinitely until they could get me housing. And literally like 12 or 24 hours after they put me in there indefinitely, and they kicked me right back out once they realized that I was service connected. And I was like, how is this possible?
Yeah,
like,
what's the logic behind that?
You're not going to help me? Yeah, I know. I was like, how is that helping me? And then my VA care afterwards, after this incident, I went to the VA because I was in such bad shape with my feet and my legs and everything else, and from what the cops did. And that was very inadequate. They didn't really treat me very well. I couldn't breathe, and they didn't give me oxygen. I was dehydrated. They didn't even give me fluids. I was in immense pain. I didn't get any pain medicine. They tried to throw a mask on me as I'm coming through the door, having struggling to breathe with 87% oxygen on the oxygen meter.
Oh no.
It's just been one thing after another. This has been happening to me for years, off and on.
This is, I mean, I've had such good results from the VA. It really hurts me. It hurts my soul to see anybody having, really bad experiences.
Yeah, some VAs do have good results. I've had good results from some VAs, and then it's just like with police. You have good encounters with some and bad encounters with some. It's just, that's the reality. And that's what I'm trying to fix. I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else. I make sure that that all the veterans receive adequate care. I want everybody to try this. The Suicide Hotline, if you call the Suicide Hotline, you'll get put on hold and hung up on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they'll put you on hold, play some music, and then circle around and say, sorry, no one's available, and it hangs up. Like, there's definitely strides that need to be made to better the care for us veterans. Leaps and bounds, like for PTSD, for many things, mental health. And I've seen it firsthand myself, and I'm sure many, many other veterans have too. It's lacking in some areas. But they have made leaps and bounds for sure from when I first started going. But no veteran should fall through the cracks like I've fallen through the cracks for years. And if I've fallen through the cracks, I know many other ones are.
And it's hard. I mean, especially if you don't have a state ID. I'm homeless. You can't go and get a state ID, either an ID card or a driver license, without a address.
Yeah.
You got to fill in those blanks, and it's just it's hard. And I don't know I don't have an answer. I don't have a solution, but I empathize with your situation. And I really hope everything is going to turn out good. I think it will. You've got so much support behind you. You've got a lot of support of the WTF Nation here. There's a lot of questions in the chats here. People are saying, okay, do you have a GoFundMe? I looked around and I didn't see one. Do you have one?
Yes, someone did set up a GoFundMe for me.
Do you know what it is? I can blast it out real quick.
I have no idea because honestly, I don't care about that. I want my service dog back.
Yeah.
That money means nothing to me right now.
Is there anything that the VA can do? I mean, I know you just can't hit print and then all of a sudden another service dog comes up. The dogs take a long time to train.
Yeah.
And you have to be matched with the dog.
Yes, that's a lot of work. It takes years.
So if you go to Facebook, it's the support Joshua. Oh gosh, what do I
Rohrer. It's support Joshua Rohrer, Rohrer, and Sunshine Ray. That's the support group on Facebook.
And those are some great folks, man. I hooked up with them last night. And there's just a lot of information, a lot of support. There's last night there was like 1,800 folks, and this is just the beginning, man. You've got a lot of support out there, and don't lose hope. Please don't lose hope.
Oh, I'm trying not to, but I hope that the positive that comes from this, not all cops are bad, but there was definitely some misconduct and wrong procedures done here, and we would like that addressed, and also care for veterans so that there's not homeless veterans on the street getting treated like this. And the biggest thing here too is they never should have separated me from my service dog. They never should have separated me. If they never would have separated me, that never would have happened.
I'm not sure of what the laws are. So you're saying that you should have been, your service dogs, Sunshine Ray should have been by your side during this entire process. And they obviously prevented that from happening.
Patch on her vest that says, "Do not separate from handler." And it is a felony to interfere with the work of a service animal or to injure or hurt a service animal.
Well, I think there's going to be some,
and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some fallback on this, and I think I think things are going to change, at least in the Gastonia Police Department as far as procedures go.
Yes,
it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. Good, Joshua.
And it's not just here. It's not just in Gastonia and just North Carolina. That's all across the country that this is happening. I'm not the only one. This isn't just about me or Sunshine. This is about overall bringing awareness to this and policies with handling disabled veterans and their service dogs, mental health, care from the SFDF, PTSD care from the VA, outreach programs, resources. I mean, it's just on and on and on.
Just know that you've got a lot of support out there, man. You're not alone in this fight. If there's any way that we can help, we're going to be paying attention to this until it's resolved and things change. If there's anything that we can do, please fill us in. Send us a message either on the U.S. Army WTF Moments page or the radio page, or call and leave a message like you did earlier, and we'll get back with you, man. Wow.
I really appreciate that, cause like that really touches me to know that there's that support there and that our voice is being heard. I want all my veteran brothers and sisters to be taken care of. All of them.
So some messages here in the chats here. It says, tell him everyone on this line is rooting for him, and we're glad that you have a mission to keep going.
Amen to that.
What do you need now?
For them too.
What do you in need of now? Are you?
My main need right now is acquiring a service dog so that I can function from here on out.
Have you gotten with the VA? What have they told you?
That is. The VA doesn't provide service dogs. I have provided all my own service dogs over the years, and I think that's something that needs to be changed. I think that they need to make it their mission to provide veterans with service dogs, because it saves lives. It saved my life so many times. If it wasn't for my service dog, I would already be dead. Like, I would not have had the will to make it through. And she has helped me through so many PTSD episodes, so many flashbacks, nightmares, night terrors, panic attacks. She's made it possible for me to be able to function and actually go out and live some sort of life. Otherwise, I would be stuck in a hole somewhere, scared to come out. And it's just no way for any person to live, and no way for any veteran to live.
So we had a comment out of our YouTube chat. It says, check out Rocky Mountain Service Dogs in Tennessee. They're top notch.
Okay.
That's Rocky Mountain Service Dogs in Tennessee.
Okay. I will check that out.
And I'm going to hit you back, or someone from the station is going to hit you back. We've had service dog related groups that we've done interviews with, and we're going to go through our notes and see who they are and where they're located. I want to say that they're in North Carolina, which would be awesome. Local is awesome. Best, right?
Right.
Joshua, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule and what you got going on to share your story. I'm really glad I just didn't read the story, because I think we got everything out, from your mouth. You were the man who was involved in all this stuff. And I'm really
indeed, and I want to thank you for the honor of this opportunity to get my story out, so that we can get justice for Sunshine, my service dog.
Sure thing, brother. We will be in touch, and I've got a really good feeling that this is gonna, in spite of all the bad things that have happened, I think that it's going to be a net plus. I think that things are going to change within that police department. I think that you're going to be getting another service dog, which you obviously need. And
yes, indeed I do.
That's
what I hope. It's positive change, positive.
There are brighter days ahead.
Brighter days ahead. That is right. This too shall pass.
Oh man, this is just heartbreaking, and this is a lot to go through. And if you ever need someone to talk to, man, just hit us up, man. We'll get with you.
I really appreciate that. I will most definitely take you up on that.
All right, Joshua Rohrer, ladies and gentlemen, and go ahead and we're going to take a break here for a couple of minutes. But while we're on the break, open up a new window in your browser and go to support Joshua Rohrer and Sunshine Ray. become a member of that group, and that way you can be pretty much abreast. I mean, they're really good with all of the information that's coming out. Wow, Joshua, thank you very much, and we will be in touch.
Okay, Cause. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was Joshua Rohrer. Wow, what a story. Heart goes out to him and Sunshine. Beautiful, beautiful animal, man. And Justice for Sunshine should be the name of his GoFundMe. I'm going to find out what that GoFundMe is, and we're going to get it published on the WTF Nation radio page, and maybe we can push it off onto U.S Army WTF Moments page with some information of this story to some kind of a summarization of the things that are going on. It just kills me, man, to hear of this, and this isn't the policy. This is an exception to the policy. Is my feeling. This is totally against everything that police are trained for. I've got police in my family, and it's just there are ways to deal with veterans and to harass them like Joshua said that he was is horrible. It's horrible, and it breaks my heart, and it pisses me off. But I think everything is going to turn out in Joshua's favor. I've got a good feeling about that, and so there's going to be more details coming out, and we're going to publish that information as we get it. Wow. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. We're going to talk about some more criminal justice type stuff. We'll talk a little bit about Facebook's new branding. How about that? And we're also going to talk about, where were you stationed? And Task and Purpose has a really good article on five bases that are CONUS, that are stateside, that should be considered a deployment because they're that bad. So we'll talk about that. So tune in. We're just going to take a really short break here, and we'll be right back.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Suck me in, we play this game and no one wins. Wanted to believe you never threw
This is WTF Nation Radio.
Wow, that time went by quickly. Welcome back, everybody. This is Kaz, and this is WTF Nation Radio. And me and Pookie are back for the second hour of Friday Night Freedom. What a great first hour. Heartbreaking, stress-inducing. I really hate seeing veterans treated that poorly, or anybody. It just hits my heart when it's a veteran, and of course when it's a service animal. I don't know how I would react. I think Josh was doing a fantastic job. I understand the mental break, and just wow. There's so many pieces within this machine that are turning, and I think it's going to turn out great. I've got a good feeling about that. So welcome back, Pookie. We did get disconnected a little bit. You couldn't answer or ask any questions or talk in there, but
I'm a little heated right now just hearing that whole story. Though.
See, I don't think it's a policy. I don't think it's a policy in any police department to harass the homeless.
Oh, they do that here. They do that here in my local area all the time, especially during tourist season, because they want to clean the streets off. So it's not, not what do they call it? Non-appealing to the tourists coming in. So my mom works as a CO, and she sees it all the time around tourist season. All the local homeless people wind up getting a 180-day sentence. No bond because, they don't have a residence like he was talking about. And, it's just bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
It is bullshit. It is bullshit. I mean, I'm going to put myself in the police officer's shoes. I think the most, first of all, he wasn't, and these are, there's two sides. There's probably more than two sides to every story. It seems to me, the way that Joshua told his story, that it's almost like they were stalking him.
Like borderline, I'm going to say it, borderline harassment / entrapment at that point is what it sounded like.
Okay, okay, we're going to back up here. Joshua says that's not my GoFundMe. So we're going to get rid of flush that. That's not his GoFundMe. We're going to figure out what's going on. And we're going to post a legit link to the GoFundMe to get Joshua.
It's just Josh did say one thing that I've been it's been scratching at my brain for a good minute. Is the VA card that they hand out to you is a government issued identification card, except it lacks date of birth, like all the important shit that you need on an identification card. And I really think our government, our all-seeing government, should especially be able to hand out an ID card to a veteran that says, hey, you're from this area, like whatever, Richmond, Virginia, whatever city, no address, just give you, he's from here. This is his date of birth. This is his service status. It's too easy to do, but I just don't understand it. They're going to issue out a card that just says, hey, this is who I am at this point. No other information.
Yeah. So I just want to say that link that I posted both on the main page, I put it on Twitch, I put it on the radio page. Don't follow that. We're going to get everybody get the correct information. We're going to vet that information, and then we're going to put it out. And that was coming right back from Joshua. He responded, and he says that's not mine. He goes, the one that they just posted is not my GoFundMe.
That's the shitty part about situations like this is there's plenty of people out there that'll try and take advantage of the situations, make a couple dollars off of it, which pisses me off to no extent.
That is, it's not an untoward thing. That's just a different Joshua that needs a service dog. It's a different Joshua. That Joshua needs one too. If you want to donate to that one, do it. But that's not our Joshua.
And another thing that Joshua, I don't know.
Joshua.
prefers
He prefers
He
Joshua.
prefers to call Joshua. Okay. Joshua mentioned the bonds, the whole magistrate and bond and the police saying, hey, he doesn't have a residence. He's a flight risk. Like, motherfucker, I don't got no residence. I've got no money. What am I going to do? Jump on fucking goddamn Air Force One and fucking fly to Beirut, whatever, like the politicians do when they're in trouble? You know, like,
he's going to pop in his Tesla.
Yeah, like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing, too, that pisses me off, because I see it all the time in my local area, is the homeless people get snatched up, and they'll give them no bond because they're a flight risk. Where the fuck are they going to go? They're just going to go back to that corner that they were chilling on. I mean, I don't like to talk shit about homeless people because I was damn near in that situation myself.
Okay, here we go.
You know, it's a hard...
Here we go. Joshua just posted.
There you go.
Can you spread that out?
I don't know if I can aggregate it, but...
I'm going to click on that. I hope it doesn't take me to... There we go. Okay, here we go. Man, that's a
rough picture at that
dude.
point.
That's a. Is that your mugshot, bro?
That's what it looks like.
Oof.
I don't know. I can 100% relate with him on 99.9% of the shit that he had mentioned during that, and like I've witnessed it, I've experienced it, and it's not. Especially, well, he's in North Carolina. Northern Virginia is 1,000 times worse. They will try to tase you over a $50 freaking ticket. They can get away with it.
I'm looking at this. I'm like, dude, man, it's for fucking like, panhandling, which falls under solicitation, or it's called solicitation. That's just nothing. That's just nothing I've ever seen before.
This is just a petty ass crime. That's not even really a crime. It's like, hey, can I get $5? I got a bunch of homeboys from the Army that hit me up every now and then, be like, hey, can I get $5? Well, like, yeah, here, you know, like,
yeah,
not against the law, you know. I give them $5, they shut the fuck up, leave me alone. But it's not like that. No, it's just like everything that he mentioned is 90% of what, like, this is like we were talking about, a couple weeks ago, about Austin and the homeless problem in Austin. Like, people will turn a blind eye to it, but then they'll call the cops being like, this dude's begging for cash. Like, it makes fucking no sense to me at all. So
pay attention to the GoFundMe that's organized by Gina Ramsey. That is the one that you need to pay attention to, not the other one.
Gina.
Whew. So
I was just gonna say, my man's a lot stronger than I am, because I would have probably wound up caught up on a murder charge. That would have happened to my dog.
I don't know how I would react. I don't even want to. I can't even put myself in Joshua's shoes.
No, I can feel him. I can feel you, man. Just don't do anything stupid, man. Kick it around, man. If you need help, hit us up, man.
Hit us up. Or the main page, man. The main page actually has the trained people to talk to you if you need to have someone, an ear to talk to. Contact the main page, U.S Army WTF Moments. So let's talk about, since we're on the justice thing, we're going to talk about justice. Justice. Oh my goodness. Pennsylvania prosecutors have dropped a felony theft charge against a man who underpaid for a bottle of Mountain Dew by 43 cents. Dude caught a felony charge for a 43-cent short on a bottle of Mountain Dew. Prosecutors in Perry County dropped a theft charge this month against Joseph Sobolewski, age 38, and downgraded another charge. In August, Sobolewski went into an Exxon, and they saw a sign advertising a 20-ounce Mountain Dew bottle for $3. That's freaking expensive for a 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew. He said, so he took one bottle, slapped $2 on the counter for what he thought was for a $1.50 soda, and he walked out, not realizing the discount did not apply to a single bottle. You had to buy two to get the discount. So state police found Sobolewski and arrested him on a felony charge. The judge ordered him held on a $50,000 cash-only bond.
I'm gonna fight someone right now. Keep this up.
Keep it up. the way that news stories are written, they get you all riled up, and I don't think that they count on you reading the entire article. So it kind of mellows out here. So he he was in jail for 7 days before a public defender successfully argued for his release. Sobolewski had twice in the past 10 years been charged with theft, once for not paying for a tank of gas, and another time for stealing a pair of shoes from a store. Under Pennsylvania's 3 strikes law, the third theft charge must be a felony, regardless of the amount of value involved. He faced up to 7 years in prison. Sobolewski told the newspapers that it was great news that the felony was being dismissed. I feel like I was treated unequally because I had a record. The newspaper previously reported that Sobolewski had been charged with theft in Cumberland County earlier in the summer on suspicion of trying to take items from a Hobby Lobby with his wife. For that charge, his bail was set at $2,000, and he was applying for a diversion program. Man. I mean, it's this the three strikes law. I mean, I don't know. I don't. It's just crazy, dude. Felony. What are you in for? Murder. What are you in for? Shorted the clerk 43 cents on a Mountain Dew. Oh, don't fuck with that guy.
Freaking my county here in the state will let a freaking murderer loose on it's your first murder. Okay, you get a $5,000 cash bond, and then he'll turn around and shoot a motherfucker like 2 days later. They'll be like, "Oh, how did that happen?" Well, I mean, you let a violent offender out, but then you locked a poor homeless girl up for 30 days because she was just sleeping on a corner somewhere.
Yeah, or you harass a homeless veteran and his service animal.
This fucking world is it's fucking clown world. It's fucking clown world.
Speaking of clown world, I like how these stories are kind of flowing here. So I'm gonna do this one. So everyone knows that Mark Zuckerberg's an alien, right? Did you see the latest one he did when they announced the Meta? The change.
Oh, it had the fucking barbecue sauce in the background.
Sweet baby Ray's holding up his books there. Look at that. What the hell?
What is this sauce? I don't know what this sauce is. I mean, he is married to what was she, like Korean or Chinese woman?
She's Asian. I don't know what.
She's like, oh, cheap bookshelf kind of thing, and boom, that's what you got there. So I mean, I don't fucking know what's going on there. I mean, I keep Sweet Baby Ray's chilling on my computer desk right now. So, I mean,
Oh, I was waiting for you to go down and pull out a bottle of Sweet Baby Ray's that's in your. So anyway, Facebook is rebranding. I mean, I guess Facebook isn't going to change, but Facebook.
It's not Facebook, but the whole company.
The whole company is rebranding. And I understand the rebranding thing. CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced the change Thursday, saying that he wanted a new brand and a clearer corporate naming scheme to help focus on what's next for the internet beyond social media. The rebrand comes as Facebook faces a deluge of news articles and stories and public scrutiny based on thousands of internal corporate documents obtained by other news organizations, including NBC News. The documents originating with former Facebook product manager and whistleblower Frances Haugen reveal internal employee dissent over the platform's policies. The change won't affect the name of the company's signature blue-colored app, which will keep the name Facebook, but it will mean a new identity for the corporate umbrella in which it sits under, like Instagram and WhatsApp and Facebook and whatnot.
Didn't Google do that? It used to be called Google, and now it's called Alphabet.
Yeah, it was Alphabet. Alphabet was the.
It's like I'm not a monopoly, but I am a monopoly.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna change my name. Leave me alone.
Together with the app messenger, Meta will own and control 4 of the most popular smartphone apps in the world. So what is that? Facebook would be one of them. WhatsApp, is another one.
Instagram
is 3. What's the fourth one?
Messenger.
Oh,
is
I guess
one.
Messenger is Messenger is separate from Facebook.
WhatsApp, and then there's another one. Is it Oculus? I think it's Oculus is the big one that they use.
I'm thinking, okay, Facebook, Messenger. Okay, one is Facebook, the other one is Facebook Messenger, which are two separate things.
Two separate platforms.
Yeah, 3 would be Instagram, and 4 would be WhatsApp.
And then 5 is Oculus. Oculus is the next big one.
So the name is a nod to the idea of the metaverse, a term for a potential future internet that emphasizes virtual spaces. Zuckerberg said that the metaverse will be the internet's next frontier. I guess we'll see. We'll see. A lot of companies rebrand because they've been caught up in some bad shit. Other companies rebrand. My company rebranded, and it's just because companies evolve. So, like the name that you've had for a bunch of years doesn't really fit anymore. So you rebrand yourself. I get that.
Kind of like Rockefeller Oil broke off to Exxon,
right?
Mobil. That's how it's going to work.
So that's happening there. So, where have you been stationed? Stateside? Were you all overseas, or were you?
No, I missed out on Korea. I really wish I would have been able to experience that experience. But everything, everywhere was like Bragg, Hood. Was it Gordon? I was mostly East Coast most of the time. So Hood was like closer to my homeland. Texas.
Yeah, I let me see. Jackson for basic. Gordon for AIT and all my ASIs. First duty station was Hood. Second duty station was in Korea at Camp Humphreys. Third duty station was Fort Campbell. And then back to Fort Hood, and then I got out. So I haven't been to any of these lovely bases that are going to be mentioned here in just a second.
Fort Polk.
Fort Polk is in there. So the first on the list, and these aren't, and this is from Task and Purpose. This isn't a number 1 through 5, or like this is the worst, or this is the worst of the worst. This is just a list. It's a 5-base list. The first one is Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota. And this is the write-up that was contributed by Task and Purpose. The U.S.'s northern fortress of military strategic solitude. Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, has long been a prime destination for career-ending mishaps. From misplaced nuclear weapons to security forces losing grenades, this snowy wonderland has "suck" tattooed on its forehead. It is. I mean, that is. If you look at it, it's
said misplaced nuclear warhead, so it's just automatically assumed, just like, yeah, this place is fucked.
It's solitude among solitude. It's like northern North Dakota, where you're basically in Canada. So the second one on the list is Fort Polk.
Yes,
lovely Fort Polk in blazing hot Louisiana is about as inviting as the Mujahideen, unless you're a tropical disease virus. The fort's southern Gothic landscape matches its history as a prison. At one point, it was the home for German POWs during World War II, and just like these Germans learned, once you are here, there is no point in trying to escape. That is so funny.
Unless you're Cajun and you just roll through the swamp like no one else's business.
You might have to wrestle a couple of gators. That's the one thing. Gators and mosquitoes.
I tell you, everyone's scared of the gators and the mosquitoes. It's not that. It's the nutria-rats that go get you when you're sleeping at night.
Nutria? The big old rats on steroids?
Yeah.
Do they tear stuff up, or are they just big and menacing?
Big and menacing and might chew you up in the middle of the night. I don't know. I mean, there's more like what they call it? Bigfoot, Sasquatch, swamp ape, whatever they call him. You know, he might get you too. I mean, the locals will probably eat you before anything else.
Yeah, I mean, Uncle Tom's Cabin, in the just that was that a Warrant song? I know a secret down in Uncle Tom's cabin. All right, the next one. Let's talk about this one. 29 Palms, California. 29 Palms, California sounds like a nice place to take a cheap family vacation. In reality, it's where Marines go to learn how to hate the Marine Corps. From sweltering hot weather to a distinct lack of nightlife, it almost makes you forget that there are literal lakes of human waste in this godforsaken hellhole.
That's where they make you shit in a bag now.
I don't know, dude. I looked up.
That's where that shit in a bag pogue comes from.
Shit in a bag pogue.
Because you shit in the ground, the turtles eat your shit and die. So that's
I had no idea that there was a reasoning. I just thought it was a saying. So I looked up 29 Palms, and it doesn't, on a map, it doesn't look so bad. I mean, you're like right there next to Joshua Tree National Park. It's San Bernardino County, San Bernardino, California. I did a job for Starbucks in San Bernardino, and it was awesome. It was, obviously, maybe I was in the right part of town or something, but it was hills. San Andreas Fault is right there. You can hang out there. Wait for the big one, but it was really nice. It was really nice. I had no idea that 29 Palms was like right there, and I'm really sorry for all of our Marine brothers and sisters that are stationed there if it is really that bad.
They only hate it because their crown's melting.
Joshua Rohrer is still hanging out. He says Joshua trees are my favorite tree, and not biased, I swear.
The Marines only hate that place because their crayons melt before they eat them.
Oh, it might be hot there. Yes.
Yes.
So here's another one. Fort Drum, New York made the list. Welcome to Fort Drum.
I can't believe that. I can't believe this. I had a buddy stationed up there, and he said it was the worst duty station he ever experienced in life. And he was stationed in Polk, too.
So he was at Polk, and he says Drum is worse.
Yes.
Welcome to Fort Drum. You will learn how to hate this slice of northeastern sensibility located in the mystical hills of Jefferson, New York. As cold as Minot, but without the nukes. Perhaps this place could use a little radiation.
I heard a story. I don't know if it's true or not, but the guys from Alaska, they'll take them down to Drum and do their cold weather training down there. I don't know if it's true or not. Because it's just a shitty ass place up in the Adirondack area. So yeah.
Joshua says that's where he mobilized out of was Fort Drum.
All the power to you, man.
So here's the last one on the list. This is 5 of 5. Altus Air Force Base. If you drive to the middle of nowhere, then keep driving a little farther, you'll hit Altus Air Force Base in Oklahoma, considered by many airmen to be one of the least desired military bases in the nation's vast expanse. Upon landing, assuming you dodged the tornado, you can find exactly one Applebee's to toss your $51 per diem at. Altus started out as a scrapyard for World War II aircraft, but now is just a scrapyard for your hopes and dreams of being stationed in California.
See, I'm looking at the picture there, and that's like my ideal homestead. Like a lake, a nice little cabin, maybe some cows, some sheep, corn growing maybe, I don't know, whatever you can grow out there. And that looks like my ideal escape from the stupidity. So I don't know. I might have to disagree with whoever wrote this.
I had heard of Altus Air Base, but I have no idea where it is. It's just weird.
Like
I mean, there's
prime
good
time real estate right there.
I mean, we have some listeners. I mean, some guests. Another round. The lead singer. Oh my gosh, Navy guy. Spent his entire career. Brown Dirt Navy. Spent his entire career in Oklahoma as a Navy guy. I imagine that would suck pretty bad.
I don't know. Some Navy guys bitch and complain about getting on a boat, and if I was in a Navy, that's all I would want to ever be, because I see how non-boat Navy life is, and I'm just like, nah, I'll stay on the boat.
I think boats would be fun, but I think that would be just like a it's great when it begins, but then when it ends, it's gonna suck. You just get kind of suck. You just get kind of sick of the suck that you're in. Never been in the Navy, so I've never been confined to a ship. It was all Army for me.
Yeah. No.
So speaking of ships, there's 24 new ships that just kind of popped up.
4 new Navy ships.
24. 24 ghost ships have risen from the bottom of the Pacific Ocean due to seismic activity. The sunken warships from World War II emerged about 800 miles from Tokyo. Seismic activity from an underwater volcano called Fukutoku Okanoba created a small C-shaped island which was initially about 1 kilometer in diameter. However, since it emerged, it has only started to slowly sink, and it is now estimated to only be 1/3 of its original size. According to the Japanese Coast Guard, the small island was formed by hardened lava and is made of pumice and volcanic ash. But the same eruption also pushed up 24 ships that sank during the Battle of Iwo Jima in 1945. Wow. That's pretty badass, actually. During the battle, 70,000 U.S. Marines fought against about 20,000 Japanese soldiers who were hiding out in bunkers within the island's volcanic rocks. By the end of the war, 20,000 Marines had been wounded and nearly 7,000 died. Nearly all of the Japanese soldiers were killed in battle, which was one of the bloodiest battles of World War II. Notwithstanding the nukes that were dropped. Anyway, I guess single battle thing. The vessels have risen from the bottom of the sea, are said to be sunken Japanese ships that were captured by the U.S. Navy in the aftermath of the battle. Dude, when the ocean gives up, it's dead. Wow.
It's like Davy Jones' locker just opened up a little bit.
Oh my gosh. And I would like to, get some paranormal investigators out there and see what the hell's going on. So now we get into the wokeness. Are you down with the wokeness, man?
No, I'm not down. You know me about that wokeness. Hold on. Gotta transition this shit. Hold on.
Hold on. Oh, keep it up there. Keep it up there. Keep it up there. Get woke, go broke.
Yes.
Shit. You got all these things on damn. On call here. The University of Pittsburgh has stepped into the wokeosphere. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I guess it's going to work out just fine, just because it's academia. A new gender-inclusive, non-sexist language guideline page made by the Office for Equity, Diversity and Inclusion at the University of Pittsburgh. Pitt, dude, this is Pitt.
That's a pristine college, actually.
It is.
People don't realize this.
Very prestigious. It features a section called Terms to Use to Avoid Sexist Language. The guide also considers mankind chairman, freshmen, ladies and gentlemen, are examples of sexist language. So, instead of saying mankind, you're supposed to say humankind. Instead of chairman, you're supposed to say chair or chairperson. Instead of freshman, you're supposed to say first-year student. Instead of upperclassmen, lowerclassmen, you're supposed to say lower division, upper division, undergrad. Instead of saying secretary or clerk, you're supposed to say administrator. That's just wrong. Administrators do...
the first few of them made sense to me.
Okay.
It made sense to me. But then they went a little extreme near the end with that. Like, administrator or what? Nah. Like, I understand, like, an upperclassman, you call him upper class person or whatever. I understand that. That makes sense to me, right? You don't, man,
So let's just say you're at the U.S. Military Academy. You're not a plebe, or is plebe not offensive? Plebe isn't offensive.
Plebe is a plebe.
A plebe is a plebe. Let me see. Instead of ladies and gentlemen, like you're going to speak in front of an audience, you don't go ladies and gentlemen, because, in my opinion, there's only two genders.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't say ladies and gentlemen. You have to say colleagues, guests, or whatever.
Say it however you want to say it, man. It's a free. I believe in free speech at that point. I mean, if someone's going to get offended by ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, like do your like fucking bozo to clown stand up thing, you go for it.
So, do you know what an ombudsman is?
No, I do not.
So an ombudsman is like an official who investigates complaints, usually lodged by private citizens or whatever against businesses. It's like the Better Business Bureau. So
the Karen of the business.
Pretty much. But anyway, ombudsman is on that list. So instead of saying ombudsman, you're supposed to say ombudsperson. Ombudsperson. They're just making shit up now.
Didn't was it like George Carlin make a joke about like we always overcomplicate words till they're not meaningful anymore, and then we turn around and just make them simple again, and then no one cares about the true meaning of the name.
You know what? I just remember his 7 dirty words you can't say on television. That was like the first thing that I ever memorized, other than song lyrics when I was a kid, was the 7 dirty words that you're not supposed to say. It's like shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
Still one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Exactly. So, since we were talking about words, there's the PETA story. We're in the middle of the World Series right now with the Atlanta Braves playing against the Houston Astros. So PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, wants us to stop using the term bullpen. The bullpen in baseball is an area where you can find like relief pitchers warming up before they come into the game. It's called the bullpen. It's been called the bullpen forever, since the birth of baseball. Yes. They want to change it. They're demanding that it gets changed. PETA says
the people pen.
the people pen. PETA says that the bullpen refers to an area of the bull's pen where the bulls are held before they are slaughtered. They say that switching to the term arm barn would be a home run for fans, players, and animals. They want to call the bullpen in baseball the arm barn.
I'm just going to say this. PETA needs to shut the fuck up.
The thing is, these are the reasons. I mean, PETA does kind of good things. I mean, don't mistreat animals, right? Don't mistreat animals, period. Period, paragraph, right there. Don't mistreat animals. You can tell a lot. You can tell a lot of a person's character on how the way that they treat animals. Cats.
Well, yeah, you treat animals decent. Treat animals like the way you would want to expect to treat yourself at that point. I understand that, but look at like PETA's history. There's plenty of data floating around. They're probably more responsible for animal deaths than like humane societies at this point. Like euthanized stations and shit.
I mean, it's like Planned Parenthood and all the abortions that happen there, and you've got PETA and the Humane Society, but put pets to death more than anything else. Yeah, it's
We're here to protect the animals. We love animals, but then we're going to kill animals.
So here I'm thinking PETA and the mainstream media is oddly silent on Puppygate. Jason, Arm Barn is really bad. But
Puppygate.
Puppygate.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this. Everyone got
and this made a splash in the media, and then it just trailed. It was a vertical drop.
It didn't meet the narrative.
It didn't meet the narrative. So PETA in the mainstream media is oddly silent on Puppygate. Anthony Fauci, you know that name, and the National Institutes for Health sent $375,000 to a Tunisian research lab and authorized these experiments. Beagles, dogs, our dogs,
beagles
were held in
coolest
cages
dogs on the planet.
They were held in cages, and their heads were put in cages. They were sedated, heavily sedated.
Yeah, they're like paralyzed from like the neck down.
So here's a picture. And this hurts my soul, dude. You don't mistreat animals. Beagles had their heads held in cages before being left for sandflies to eat them alive for research purposes. Distressing snaps show pups with their heads kept inside cages filled with these hungry insects. Another procedure, which the National Institutes for Health funded by Anthony Fauci, not him personally, but he's in charge of this shit, for the tune of $1.8 million, saw 44 beagle puppies undergo a cordectomy, which is they made them not be able to bark. And that experiment, they juiced them up full of drugs, and then they dissected their bodies afterwards. And that happened in Menlo Park, California. Stateside, folks. Stateside.
That happened in the States?
That happened in California.
I think we need to pull the Fauci documentary off of Disney Plus now at this point. You know, let's just cancel them. Cancel them.
So we talk about, like, you know, songs and stuff. Songs are popular. They become not popular, and things come and go. But, you know, top of the pop charts right now on iTunes is a song called Let's Go Brandon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A controversial new rap song mocking our leader of the free world has rocketed to the top of the iTunes chart, booting Adele from the #1 spot, even after getting banned on YouTube and Instagram for spreading, quote, harmful false information. The song Let's Go Brandon, released last week by Bryson Gray, has been sitting at #1 since Sunday, and it still is. I checked right before the show. It's still there. Replacing Adele's much-hyped comeback single called Easy on Me. I've heard Easy on Me. It's a great song. It really is a good song. Adele looks great. Her voice is freaking solid. I'm not an Adele fan, but it's just a really, really good song. I was going to play a clip of of Adele's song and the Let's Go Brandon song, but I don't want to get muted or booted off any platform. So go and check out.
40-cent discount on a Let's Go Brandon song. Just saying, or 30 cent. My brain might be messed up on that, but I mean 99 cents, $1.29. There you go.
So the 30-year-old rapper believes that his single shot to #1 because of the YouTube ban. If you read guidelines for social media now, the guidelines themselves are against any form of conservatism. You literally cannot have a conservative opinion. Like, I can't say there is only 2 genders, or I can't call somebody by what they are. I have to be delusional with them. So there's our artist there on the left. On the right, obviously, is Adele. She looks really good. And on the left, a lot of weight. She did. She really did. And dude, her new song. I mean, check it out. Check out Adele's new song. It's called Easy on Me. iTunes. You can go to like YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube. You can even find Let's Go Brandon on YouTube, even though his particular release was banned, there's all kinds of other people like reposting it. So you can find it. It's not bad. It's not bad. So here, our last story of the evening. And this is kind of disturbing, especially for the male people with the penises, okay? This happens in Germany. This happened in Germany. A German electrician went on trial Thursday, accused of murder in the death of one man and mutilating several others by performing illegal operations on their genitals. This 66-year-old man told a court in Munich that he performed the procedures at the men's requests. The defendant, whose name wasn't released for privacy reasons, claimed that he initially offered sexual services on a sadomasochistic website in order to earn money to pay off debts. Got it. You need to have a side hustle. That's what you do. Great. Later, the man allegedly expanded his repertoire by performing operations on his kitchen table in the Bavarian town of Markt Schwaben, telling his victims that he was most definitely a trained medical professional. He denied responsibility for the death of one man who died several days after the defendant performed a procedure on him. The dead man's body was found in a box by police 3 weeks later. Prosecutors have charged the defendant with murder for failing to call for help in the case of the man who died. So normally when we sign off, because we're at the end of the show, normally when we sign off, I do like I'll say a joke or whatever. This is more of a, here's our safety briefing. Don't hire anybody off of Craigslist to chop off your manly parts. Chances are it will end up worse than you had ever imagined.
I don't understand people. Never mind. I can't even get into it. I'm done. This whole show today has killed me at this point.
I think we broke Pookie, man. So that Let's Go Brandon thing, that was a NASCAR thing, right?
Yeah, well, it started with, I won't say it, but a certain term. But then the media person that was sitting there, it was clear as day in the background.
Yeah.
She's like, I guess a guy named Brandon had run it. It's like, hey, listen, they're saying, let's go Brandon.
And they weren't saying that.
They weren't saying that. And just, the internet, gotta love the internet. Kings of the trolling. So you can't fuck with the internet. That's all I gotta say at that point.
And the thing is, now you're seeing it happened in NASCAR, and now you're seeing it at college games, at major like NFL games. Man. Anyway, this is the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. I can't say that. Let me consult the list of the things that I can say according
peoples
to
and people's persons.
Peoples and people's persons, dudes. And I can't even say dudes and chicks. I have to say
peoples and people's persons, animals and goats.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say colleagues, guests, thank you for joining me and Pookie here on WTF Nation Radio. And we hope that you will tune into our other shows, not only ours, but we have shows Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. On Mondays, the Monday edition with Ice, and since Flash is doing his Flash things, there may be a Spanky sighting, or maybe a mom sighting, or a radar sighting, or someone else is going to join in. Tuesdays is the Pop Culture Warrior, and that's with CQ and Radar. Thursdays is Sergeant's Time with Ice and Spanky, when she's not doing like stuff with the kids and stuff.
Spanky thinks she's not eating tacos.
When she's not eating tacos. And Friday is Friday Night Freedom with me and that man right there. Pookie.
Yeah. Me.
Have a happy Halloween, everybody. Pookie, do you have any parting words that are just like totally
Yes.
fucking inspirational?
Yes. don't shoot yourself in the foot this weekend and do something stupid. I know it's holiday weekend, dress up, do your things or whatever it is, but just like be safe. Don't drink or drive. Don't kick your dog. Don't beat your spouse, and be a decent person.
And if you're up in the Northern Virginia area, if you see something, say something. There's a legit threat from ISIS. So if you see something weird, call. If you see something, say something. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. And we're going to be out of here right now. Enjoy your weekend. And kiss a stranger. Out of here. Bye.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Is it necessary for me to drink my own
Radio. WTF Nation Radio.